Deputy Jesus, these are the watch.
How it all started. Ndị Igbo si na ada agba aka azụ anyị. Agbala aka na-azụ anyị, onye ji ji a na-akọnye ji, onye ji ede a na-akọnye ede. This is why the Igbos are far steps ahead of other people. While others are still on ground dragging, Igbos are still inventing and making inventions to better the Igbo society. Sometimes ago, an inventor, a chief based in US, Ihani Chukwu Anyanwu, contacted me on TikTok saying that he had a project that he wanted me to market for the Organiru of Igbo. I thought it was a joke, but when we started chatting on TikTok, I discovered it's a good invention. He was talking about a wristwatch that has all the things and features of the Igbo history in it. And now he has promised to send me a copy before we can start marketing the product. I need to have a copy of it. So I want you to listen to him.
Yes, I can tell you freely that every meaningful Igbo man and woman is supposed to have this particular wristwatch. Now, the wristwatch, like I said, goes with this calendar. This is a 13-month calendar. So it's not just an ordinary wristwatch or a timepiece. It's a library. What we did was we understood how our ancestors operated, that their library is a place that informations are hidden. So what we did in this watch was to bring in so many informations that will help you to understand the Igbo civilization, the ancient Igbo civilization for what it is. And this watch also takes you through the day. As it goes, it follows the sun reflection of your own shadow. So that means wherever your shadow is facing or pointing, it is where the short hand of the clock will be. You know, the funny thing is that we understood that what was brought to us by the West is not in the same rhythm with what our ancestors had, because they monitored the time of the day according to the shadow, the movement of the sun. And that is why, after so many years of study and investigation and research, we understood that our direction and the direction that the West are making us to follow does not rhyme, and it's not the same. So this is why we have this piece, this wonderful piece that we have so much displayed. The best you can do for yourself, if you are really interested in what happened in the ancient Igbo kingdom, is for you to have a piece of this particular watch. A piece of this watch. There are so many informations loaded in it. In fact, we have attached, or we will be attaching to the watch a catalog that is explaining most of these basic informations. Now, when you look at the Igbo time, you will understand, according to our own time, that normally the day in Igbo land does not start by midnight. No. Our day starts as soon as the sun comes up, and which is between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. You understand? Now, but there is a way we count our days, and that particular period is called Oge Ebashi. Oge Ebashi, which leads us directly to Oge Uju. That is at the middle of the day. Then after Oge Uju, we have Oge Mbede. Before Anyasi. Then before Ebashi, we have what we call Oge Duojina Soba. That is when the sun has not yet risen. So as soon as the sun rises, surfaces, we enter Oge Ebashi. And that is when the proper morning starts. And we have been able to capture that in that wristwatch. Now you talk about the calendar, because normally the biggest complication that is going to occur in this particular thing is we are talking about 26 hours in a day and not 24 hours, just like the West brought to us. So we have a watch that has 13 hours. And that is where it's going to get tricky, because what we are trying to bring out, although it's a limited edition, is the 12 hours of this particular version. Because we know that it will be too much for our people to comprehend. It will be too much for them to, take in. Because it's like jumping from a skyscraper, to an helicopter that is on the move. So we want them to have a safe landing. And that is why we decided to do these 12 hours. And then we are working on that 13 hours, because we really need to get to where our ancestors were. And it is not here. It is not this time. It is not this system that was brought to us from the West. Normally, the watch I'm talking about goes what we call Igbo clockwise, not the Western clockwise. And that is another issue that seems to look as if it is controversial. But we know it is not, because the truth is always, challenging. But it is only the truth that will set us free. And that is why we are talking about this watch. There is something so special about it.